I'd say that there's very few things that you can't talk about on TV under any circumstances due to controversy surrounding those subjects. While pedophilia isn't technically one of those things, it's still seen as a known to talk about in length for fairly obvious reasons. That's why Paedogeddon, otherwise known as the Brass Eye Special, is special, and also one of the reasons why it was controversial. A 20-minute special in the Brass Eye series by Chris Morris, the IT crowd in the Day-to-Day fame, Paedogeddon talked about the subject of pedophilia while including surrealist black comedy and being generally entertaining. However, this is overshadowed by its reputation, which I'll get to at the end of this video. For now, let's take a deep dive into the subject of Paedogeddon. Pedophilia, the scourge of the world. Having any form of positive opinion on pedophilia is seen as being one of them. And while pedophilia is obviously morally reprehensible, the idea that pedophiles are inhuman monsters is a huge problem due to the fact that pedophiles are human. This is the idea that Paedogeddon capitalized on. The media's view of pedophilia being wrong and actually doing harm. The best example of this is the scene where an actual pedophile is brought into the studio. It's a scene that shows that pedophiles aren't the inhuman monster that Paedogeddon's news segments paint them as, but rather as regular people with completely warped psyches. This scene shows how truly depraved pedophiles are as they try to use warped logic to show why they're right. This also serves as a harrowing prediction from 20 years ago to things such as MAPS, or minorly attracted pedophiles, who are, basically, proud pedos. Paedogeddon's other segments, however, serve to show how the media portrays pedophiles as inhuman monsters. Morris is very well versed with sensationalist writing, as can be seen on the day-to-day and he uses this beautifully in Paedogeddon, weaving an intricate story about the media-driven society that we live in today. However, that unfortunately isn't how it's remembered. Paedogeddon is probably remembered for one thing: the complaints and lawsuits about it. It is one of the, if not the most complained about episodes of a British comedy show in history, very likely due to the subject matter, but also due to one other thing. It used real politicians in its production. Certain segments showed real politicians talking absolute waffle on television and basically outing themselves about not knowing a clue about pedophiles. While this is a very smart move, it also proved to be Paedogeddon's biggest risk, as many of the people in it launched complaints about them. Most of these, however, were thrown out, can be seen as a risk that paid off. Paedogeddon was a pariah of comedy during the 2000s. It sunk Brass Eye with no new episodes being made ever again, and also sunk Chris Morris's career for about 5 years. However, it serves as a glimpse into a very controversial subject through the lens of scathing satire, and I feel like it should be remembered for this. The YouTuber Suvagful made a longer and more in-depth look into Paedogeddon, which I recommend you go and check out. I'll post a link in the description. Also, the segment is available on websites such as YouTube and Dailymotion, so if you want to watch Paedogeddon in its entirety, it is fairly accessible.